first guest is perhaps, or one of our first guests, is perhaps the most controversial individual in all of pro sport today. Would you please? We hear his voice now. Would you please welcome Roddy Piper and Cowboy Bob Orton? So how are things with the Rowdy one?
Just a second. We'll just fix that right now. Fine.
That's
How
a
are
little
things with
fantasy,
you?
isn't it?
Hair's a little puffy today, man.
Oh,
It's like kind
have to get it
of conehead style.
Conehead. We're the original Coneheads.
Good. What you want us here for? You phoned us and asked us to be on here. What do you want? He had a date with Juicy Lucy, man. We gave up a lot of stuff to come here and see you.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, we have a little something to remind you a little later on. We're going to be showing you a six-man tag team match, which I'm sure you remember emanating from Tampa, Florida.
Oh.
As a matter of fact, here we have the Kerman, if you would, on camera one. And the
Yo, Kerman.
Yeah. There we go.
That's what you get for. That's what you get for that cheap labor hiring a frog. McMahon, when are you gonna? Yeah, that we replace him in the band you got out there.
You remember the gentleman on the cover, I'm sure, and I'm sure you remember these fine gentlemen here, the Hillbillies.
They're wonderful.
Aren't they wonderful people, though?
Oh, they're wonderful. Yeah, they're all really close related.
They're closely related?
Closely related. They're all real tight family.
Well, we'll see.
This is their idea. My impression, Hillbilly getting laid. Want to go out with me tonight? It's kind of guy you want to bring home to Mom, huh? Oh, go ahead.
I guess it depends on your mother. All right, let's take you now to a Piper's Pit, which I'm sure you remember. We'll take you back in time.
We have with us a very distinguished guest. You don't have to be worried, Doc. This is just my bodyguard, Ace. And the reason we got you here, this is Dr. Prubaugh from Newburgh. And the reason I have you here is to ask you a few questions. First of all, Doctor, if you could tell me, what is the average length of time that it takes? Ace had a hairline fracture in his arm. What is the average length? He's been out now for 9. What is the average length of time for an arm to heal from a hairline fracture?
At least 4 weeks. 4 weeks.
4 weeks? No, you don't understand. He's had this on for 9 months now, but he had a fracture in his arm that was hairline. Is it possible for him to have his fracture? Because we're trying to convince the commission. You see, we have Orndorff out there. He has no reason to have a cast on Orndorff. Do you believe in any way? Have you seen Orndorff's arm broken at all yourself?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? I'm very happy to have you here. Yeah, I'm not sure. Tell me something. Is it possible for a man like, I'm just trying to convince these people, for now you're talking about 9 months, he had a hairline fracture. Is it possible for an arm to be fractured for 9 months?
No.
Yeah, it is possible. Well, if it is possible then for an arm to be fractured for 9 months, now, is it possible that it could have been more than a hairline fracture? Take a look at the cast, first of all.
Even if it's a real fracture, no more than 6 weeks.
So you're saying that it's okay for him to have this cast on his arm for this period of time? Supposing the arm didn't heal right. The arm didn't heal right.
No more than 6 weeks.
Mr. Piper,
Libya.
I beg your pardon, he's from Libya?
Libya.
He's from...
The entire problem right there. It's the only thing I can figure out. Libya. The guy was a blooming idiot. I think there was just a communication gap in the English language. It's obvious, you know, the guy was on. Let's face it, you know, his camel was parked outside. Let's face it, the arm is hurt. You know, it's, you know, everybody knows it.
Well, wouldn't you say that Mr. Orndorff's arm is equally hurt?
Oh, McMahon, come on, man. This guy here has nothing. He's never looked at an X-ray. He knows nothing about the injury that was incurred. Okay, he's just out here talking about generalities. I'm not a generality, man. I mean, this was a very serious injury, thanks to Hulk Hogan. And thanks to
Juicy Lucy. I told you, man.
There we go.
Yeah, we want to know what you
Paul
want.
Orndorff, hey, no
Could you
one...
put your leg down, please, with the cameras shooting you? No,
I just checking. I knew you and Adrian.
Nobody's looked at Orndorff.
Adrian?
I don't don't know. I figured you look cute with the ball.
I'm not too sure about that. Back to Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. It seems to me that he has every bit the same right to wear a cast in the ring as you do.
Nobody has looked at Paul Orndorff's arm. Mine was broken. You know that. Everybody knows that. Paul Orndorff has no proof. All he's doing is trying to be a cheap imitation of the greatest thing that's ever stepped into a wrestling ring. Me.
There's one other item in this magazine that we made reference to earlier, and it's Uncle Elmer, and Steve Taylor, the World Wrestling Federation photographer, caught him up in Niagara Falls during his honeymoon. And of course, you will remember.
What was he doing?
What was he doing? He did not capture that portion. I'm not too sure what.
I would have liked to see the honeymoon night.
Can you imagine Elmer going over the falls? No, I don't guess so.
No, that's not what I was talking about.
Oh. But in any event, your comments during the wedding apparently raised the ire of Uncle Elmer and all the hillbillies.
Let's face it, the wedding was silly, man. Wedding was silly. You got, the guy's going to take, he's got some girl coming in here. He's loved so much. This girl comes down on the Saturday night main event. And as they're going through the vows, somebody's throwing a pretzel. A pretzel's hitting her upside the head. Have you noticed? I shook hands with that broad. Have you noticed the grip she's got?
No, it's a lady, I'm sure.
That lady. Have you noticed the grip she's got? Did you notice the nice long hair she has down her back, on her legs, down here? You kidding me?
Notice that,
This is what you want to show on a national broadcast. Here I'm a fighter, and you got these people in the ring that they have no people, no position, nothing being there, man.
When we come back, we're going to take a look at a six-man tag team match that involved the
What a
Hillbillies.
dog she is, man.
All for you, Hot Rod.
All for me.
Here's
250 pieces.
Beg your pardon?
250 pieces to put Hawk. That's kind of how he looked last time I fought him. 250 pieces. That'd keep the hillbilly busy for 10 years, man. I bet you that's what they do on their honeymoon night. No, taking it apart. No, of course, all right. Well, I'm sorry, my voice is hard for me to talk. My voice is gone.
Well, that's not all that difficult to take. We'll take a look here now at what we see at.
Oh my goodness! Excuse me.
I was going to show you something that perhaps you have not seen. And I know everyone would want to see this. This is Uncle Elmer on his honeymoon, and there you can take a look at the monitor. Here is Uncle Elmer and his bride Joyce, about ready to tour the Tunnel of Love.
Joyce.
Joyce,
Joe.
not Joe. Joyce.
Joyce.
And then there's Elmer, of course. We saw with the what appears to be an ice cream cone in his face.
Of course. Yeah. After that, a dinosaur burger. Of course. It's a good picture. Now that I believe.
Have you ever been to the Tunnel of Love up in Niagara Falls?
No, but if I got a few moments on the weekend, you'll be lucky. Well, thanks. I appreciate the invitation.
I'm booked.
Big fella. You're booked.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, in any event, we're going to take you now to a match that I'm sure that you and Ace will long remember.
I do want to say something. When you do see this match, you are going to see the difference between the caliber between a bunch of fat slob hillbillies that come in there weighing 420 pounds and think they're doing the difference in the caliber of real professional wrestlers like Ace and myself. Right. And you just go ahead and take a look at it.
All right. Jesse the Body Ventura is going to join you and Ace in the six-man matchup against all three of the Hillbillies, courtesy of Saturday night's main event. Let's go now to the tape.
See, the referee, I think, has completely lost control of this match now. The Hillbillies were the original ones that instigated this. They were the ones that started breaking the rules, and you know that as well as I do. You must be looking at a different match than I am. I'm sitting right next to you. I can see everything. Jesse warned me that you'd be like this. He warned me how you feel about him and how you're biased, one-sided.
Well, look at this. Talk about one-sided. Piper in there now. A series of headbutts setting up Hillbilly. Oh! That was one too many headbutt. Look at that. A right hand. Hillbilly Jim winds up. Roddy Piper. Tag is no. Can't make the tag. Reaching for it. Just inches away, and Piper's gonna. He just slapped him. But look at Piper. What a paintbrush job. Toe to toe. Wind up now. Hillbilly Jim with Piper in control.
Back him in that corner, Roddy. There he goes. That's a smart referee.
Yeah, look at this. Double team. Soon it's going to be a triple team with Ventura in there.
You fight fire with fire. The Hillbillies started it. They're just going to finish it.
Ventura with a forearm.
I like it when them Hillbillies are on their knees. That's when they look the best to me.
Ooh. Elbow to the back of Hillbilly Jim. Roddy Piper through the ropes out. away. Cousin Luke hammering away on Roddy. Oh, yeah! Look at that! Oh, this Luke is something else. Come on, referee. Luke scoops up Piper. No, Piper gets behind him. He's got a submission hold. The sleeper on him. Sure, drop kick. Boy. I think the referee... No, Luke trying to fight his way out of that.
Come on, referee, get them hillbillies out of there. Get them hillbillies out of there.
The Hillbillies really picking up momentum. All right. Oh, did you see that?
Oh, he missed the trip. He lost his footing.
Look at this. Ace Orton now readjusting the cast. Ace Orton, we saw blatantly hit Cousin Luke right behind the head. Oh, yeah, the sleeper's on Luke, all right. And he's out, but not because of the sleeper. It's because of Ace using that illegal cast. Tripped, lost his footing.
Experience, knowledge, and wrestling always pays off.
The winners of this match, the team of Cowboy Bob Orton, Jesse the Bobby Ventura, and Roddy Piper.
Would you not? Would you not categorize that as a typical cheap victory?
A cheap, no, not considering I got paid 3 times as much as they did because I won. I wouldn't consider that a 50 grand. I wouldn't consider that a cheap victory. I wouldn't consider it a cheap victory because they want to go out and we're saying all kinds of stuff about us, and all of a sudden they want to play big time and they get their butt knocked down. They're sitting down there like a lady on Saturday night, man. They're sitting down there.
I thought they were doing.
He came in, boom, and they're sitting.
I thought they were doing quite well for themselves until Ace interfered with the
He
cast.
didn't interfere. Stand on the apron, man. He didn't do
Roddy
nothing.
Piper put the man to sleep right there. I mean, hey, right in front of God and everybody. Put him to sleep, Daddy.
Serious, man. I'm not teasing.
You look serious.
I'm not, yeah. How was that? It's my imitation.
Were you serious?
Of
Were you serious?
It's my imitation of Bruno Sammartino.
Is what?
More garlic, quick. Yeah, give me a new T-shirt.
Were you serious, Mr. Piper, when you performed the cut on the wrestling album? What is it? The tune's called For Everybody, I believe.
Oh boy, what was that?
That's a nasty-looking piece of chewing gum you have there in you.
Well, you don't like that?
Looks like George Steele's tongue, same color.
I mean, that's my gum nuts, because...
Would you like to be voted best single vocal performer?
Has anybody heard the song For Everybody? Yeah. Did anybody get the message? No, there's definitely a message. Remember when the Beatles had a song and you played it backwards and it said something to you? There's a little message.
So we have to play
in
this one backwards?
You don't have to play it backwards. You just you have to have an IQ of over 21. You'll figure it out.
Thank you, Mr. Piper, for joining us.
Oh, I'm sure you loved it. Yeah, you always like me to come on here.
Hopefully you'll take care of your voice so in the future you come back and join us.
Your hair looks nice.
Thank you.
It's not receding anymore.
I had it fixed.
That's good.
We'll be back as we continue with more TNT. Stay with us. Back with more TNT. Would you please welcome our next B. Brian Blair, our next guest.
You were so quick that I swear I saw you twice.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people say that.
How are things with the Killer Bees?
Oh, fine. Good, good. Everything's super.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Looking for a title shot soon, maybe?
Yes, sir. Sure am. How's everything with you?
Good. Are you always this colorful, or is this we're lucky today to? I saw the last time we were together was over the Christmas holidays, back some time ago.
Mm-hmm. That's right. We were at a party.
Yes.
Yes. You were in rare form as usual. Always a gentleman, though. He's always a gentleman.
He is.
I
always the hit of the party.
Well, most of the time.
Yes.
Most of the time.
I sort of remembered you were at the party having a good time, weren't you?
Oh, yeah, I always have a good time. You know, what life's all about, you know, you got to try to have a good time as often as possible.
I didn't see Brunzell was not with you, was he? I don't believe so.
No, Jim's, you know, he's
you
a
guys
good
party together a lot?
influence. Jim's a good influence on me. You know, he, after we wrestle, you know, we're usually sore, and Jim will go home and go back to the room and take a bath and call his wife and lay down and maybe have one beer and go to sleep, whereas, you know, I'm a little bit...
Yeah, you are a little bit different, come to think of it. Yeah, right.
You know,
So you're out for the night, aren't you, more or less?
Yeah, usually I get in around 4 or 5. I knock on the door and...
4 or 5, then maybe a couple hours sleep, and work out in the morning, and you're off to the races.
Gotta work out, that's right. You know,
That's for the youngsters, I'm sure they would want to follow that regimen, that training routine. That's different. I hope none of you guys out there 1200 are listening, but
actually, I'm
it's not the way we're just spoofing, right? No, we're not. No, this is actually the way.
Working out till 4 or 5. Right.
Well, I won't touch that.
That's right, kids.
Let's take you now to a matchup with B. Brian Blair.
Oh. I do too. I love the jackets they have. See, the ring jacket is just beautiful, but you know, when you take the jacket off, you got to be able to do something in there. And Brian Blair certainly can do it, but I think Barrio has really surprised him in this matchup. Lee Bryan outside taking a breather. Not breathing too well though. Look at, oh, you just went under the ring, Jane. B. Brian Blair just disappeared underneath the ring, probably to come up on the other side. Referee looking and counting. There he is. Popped up. Barrio doesn't know where he is. Wonder what he found under there. I think he found it. Look out! Wow! Haymaker!
Oh! Oh! What did that work out according to plan?
Surprise, surprise.
Right on top of the head with an elbow. B. Brian Blair slams Barrio into the ring apron. Look, he just drags him right in by the hair.
He wanted him inside that ring.
Did he ever?
Brian now with a whip in. Look out. Clothesline and a beauty.
Talk about a clothesline. Absolutely devastating.
Where's he going?
Wait a minute. B. Brian Blair. Yes, mounts the top rope.
Oh, did you see the little B-wing action there?
What about that? I saw that. Beautiful. That was incredible. Well, I'll tell you what now. Blair can roughhouse it.
He can do anything you want to do. But he's got a tough customer in there because Barrio
Look at this.
Not easy pickings.
Oh, what a right. 2 or 3 quick left jabs and then a roundhouse right.
Sent him right down like yesterday's garbage. Oh. Brian missed a big one. Oh, he slipped. There's a sleeper.
There it is.
Beautiful. Slipped right in behind him nicely with it.
If he can keep him in the center of the ring, that's
got him pretty much out there.
But if he goes to the ropes.
Got him pretty much right in the center. And I think it's good night for Barrio.
It's all over. It's got to be. Look at this.
He's out.
The guy's out. He is out.
Come on, ref, ring the bell.
Ring the bell. He calls for it.
The referee was waiting for him to say, I give up. It's a submission hold.
Right.
It's not a submission hold. It's a finishing hold. It's a sleeper.
That referee, the referee in that particular match took I think, a risk. Were you concerned that you applied the sleeper too long on your opponent there? I mean, if you do, obviously it's going to be some permanent damage. Were you concerned? I mean, the referee, I believe, should have stopped the match a long time ago.
Well, he still had movement. You know, it's up to it's referee's discretion, you know, as you were saying, but Barrio still had movement in his arm until his arm stops. You know, I guess by the rules, he can't, you know, he'd give the guy the benefit of the doubt. You know, he gave the guy the benefit. It's
a very dangerous hold, that sleeper.
Well, you know, a lot of times, you know, you watch the matches, a lot of times you think a guy's really down and out, and somehow, you know, the people get somebody's adrenaline going, or they get that little bit of extra, and they make it to the rope. So I guess the referee gave him the little benefit of the doubt there, thinking that maybe he might be able to get there.
But surely, I mean, you've got to use your own personal discretion. I mean,
right,
the referee could be wrong,
you know,
and you could put the guy to sleep for an hour.
Right,
and
I
he's
wouldn't
gone.
want to ever, you know, put somebody out of wrestling, you know, no matter, I've never been that mad at somebody where I would actually want to kill them or hurt them where they couldn't feed their family or their girlfriend or their mother or whatever they do.
We thank you for joining us. We'll be back with The Brain. Stay with us. Back with more TNT. Our next guest fancies himself as, well, I guess maybe the manager of the year. He is not that, except perhaps in his own mind. Would you please welcome Bobby the Brain Heenan?
Shake your hand.
Yes.
But you said he fancies himself.
Surely
but
you
he's
do.
not manager of the year.
You're not officially manager.
Yes, I am.
You're officially manager of the year?
Yes. Mm-hmm. As far as I'm concerned, I am.
That's a nice looking hanky.
Well, you want to blow your nose?
I don't believe so. Not on that. No. Thank you. It matches Alfred's.
Get the feeling we're in a band, huh?
Well, not exactly, but in any event, we understand that, Alfred, you have some questions to ask the Brain, as a matter of fact, and you've actually given this segment, unbeknownst to you, a little title. What's the name of it?
Baffle the Brain.
Baffle the Brain. That should not be too difficult. Why don't we try...
Now, wait a minute. Don't set me up here. I don't know what questions you bet they ask me.
No, well, I was thinking that you always say you know so much about wrestling.
I do. That's my life.
Okay. Then I thought that maybe we'd ask a few questions and see if you could answer them correctly.
You're going to try to embarrass me, aren't you?
No.
Oh, no.
We wouldn't do anything like that, would we, Vince?
All right, Alfred, that's the first one.
Okay, the first one of these questions, you want to answer these?
I'll let you know if I feel like answering this.
Okay. Is in three parts. The Intercontinental title changed once in 1985. What city?
Baltimore, Maryland.
Absolutely right. Who won the Intercontinental title then?
Tito Santana.
Boy, that's real difficult since when you consider that the answer to that one. I mean, the guy hasn't lost it, so who won? I mean, we haven't had a title change since then. Anyone could have answered
Let me ask you something. Is he playing this game?
No, I'm sorry, I'm not playing it. All
right, why don't you go sit in the peanut section with Howdy Doody and them?
Who lost the title? Okay. Captain Lou Albano was once a tag team champion himself. Two parts to this one. What was the name of the team? And who was his partner?
That's a good one. Your time.
Tony Altamore.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh.
Was not the name of the team.
No, that was his partner.
Right.
And the team was called the Sicilians.
Right.
Very good.
Very good. Okay.
A smattering of applause, not much.
Fred Blassie.
There's not much out here.
Fred Blassie, long career. Very well known as a manager. But he only managed one world heavyweight champion. Two questions here. One, who was that person, and who beat him ultimately for the title?
Freddie Blassie managed the Iron Sheik.
Right. He's not bad, is he?
And the man that beat him is Hulk Hogan.
Absolutely right. Yeah, you're not doing too bad. Okay.
No.
Who held
Beat
all
stump
three?
the band, don't it?
Who held all three WWF championships in his career and is still wrestling today really well?
Now, you're talking about the World's Championship,
Yes.
the World's Tag Team Championship,
Yes.
and the Intercontinental.
They're the three.
And he's still wrestling now.
Uh-huh.
What's that burning?
It's his brain, I think. The wheels are turning.
We don't.
Pedro Morales.
Right, good. Okay, the last one here. Name two current managers who are on the inside of the wrestling album.
The Rock and Roll Wrestling album.
Yes, uh-huh. The one that's just out, the Wrestlers.
Right. Jimmy Hart.
Right.
Who's the other?
Me.
No.
Wrong.
What? No, wait a minute.
No, you're not on the inside of the wrestling album. You're wrong.
No, I'm never wrong, pal.
You're wrong.
Let me see a wrestling album. You got one?
Yes, here's one. All right. The inside. There's Jimmy Hart and Lou Albano.
Oh, now no, I don't believe that.
Take a look.
No, you asked me who was the wrestling managers in there.
Yes.
Jimmy Hart, Lou Albano, and who else? You mentioned somebody else. You didn't mention me to do that.
Could you, what was that?
No, wait, no, I'm not. Now, quit it. Quit trying to make a fool out of me out here. I don't need you to do that. I can do that without you. I mean,
yeah,
wait a minute. No, I don't mean it that way. I'm right, the whole thing. I mentioned it was Captain Lou Albano. I said Lou Albano and Jimmy Hart.
I didn't hear
You didn't
that.
say Albano.
I did.
No.
This thing on. You heard me, didn't you? Oh, don't laugh. See, I knew you guys were going to set me
You
up.
weren't bad with the others. The others were okay.
No, I named them. I named them all.
Yes, you did.
I said Lou Albano and Jimmy Hart.
Except for that.
No, I did say Lou Albano.
No.
Oh, no. Who do you think you are?
Lord Hayes.
I did say Lou Albano.
No, you did not.
You heard me say Lou Albano.
You did very well, though.
Unfortunately, Mr. Heenan is leaving the premises. We'll be back as we continue. Stay with us for more TNT. Hillbilly Jim and Cousin Luke will join us. Baffle the brain. I think you did just that.
We baffled him slightly, didn't we?
Yeah, I think you did on the last cut. Would you please welcome our next guest, Cousin Luke and Hillbilly Jim.
Let me get
There,
back there.
Jim.
That's something you said right there. I gotta get next to Vince here where I can talk to you.
How are things back in Mudlick?
Everything's fine. We had a wonderful Christmas and a good New Year, and I want to wish everybody a very happy New Year. I'm having a good one.
Yes, you are so far. Luke there's got a little something in his hand, huh? That looks kind of like you, too, doesn't it?
Got a hat and everything here.
Sure does.
Kind of like this one. That's right.
How old is that hat? Where'd you find that?
Oh, well, this was given to me by my granddaddy.
Your grandfather gave you
Yes,
that
sir.
hat?
You can look at it if you want to. It won't
Thank
buy
you.
nothing.
It won't?
No, sir. It's a fine hat. It's got a little age on it, as you can tell. That's genuine cowhide there.
It's all right. It's all right. No. That's.
Told you he was a funny kind of guy. He got some.
Boy, this does have some age on it. Cowhide, huh?
Yes, sir. He gave it to my daddy, and my daddy gave it to me.
That's kind of a nice.
Fits
little...
good. Kind of fits my head, you know. It don't fit everybody's head, but I kind of like it.
What? I don't know if we can do this. I guess we can commercially. What brand toothpaste do you use, Hillbilly Jim? You're
toothpaste.
Yeah.
Well, we use that baking soda.
Ah,
that Arm and Hammer, you know, baking soda.
I think it probably makes a lot of sense. We're going to take you and Luke now to a matchup, a tag team matchup. I guess we'll join it in progress against and a couple of opponents here. Let's take a look at Hillbilly Jim and Luke in tag team action. Here we go.
People realize just how strong Hillbilly Jim is. He is a very, very strong man, and I'll tell you, like right now, Spot's trying to find out this. He's got as he's caught in a headlock, he's trying to toss Hillbilly Jim to the ropes, and no way. He just hangs on so tight that he just can't shake him off. Now he broke off on his own.
Jim, of course, with not all that much experience as compared to a Moondog Spot who's been wrestling for, I would think, 5, maybe even 8 years, maybe a little bit longer. Jim doesn't have that kind of experience, but he certainly has a great deal of strength and an awful lot of lady luck riding on his shoulders. Uh-oh.
Yep. Well, you know, besides having a lot of strength, he's a big guy, and he can take an awful lot. He doesn't get hurt easy.
Oh, my! Into the chest, tag is made. Luke now is going to step through the ropes. Moondog Spot off, and Luke gives him a shot to the midsection there with the boot. Or actually with the bare foot. Now Luke's looking back over at Hillbilly Jim. Better keep his eye on Moondog Spot. Up goes Luke with a slam. Moondog Spot taking over now on Cousin Luke. Luke has a hard head.
Yeah.
Attack is made. Navarro comes in for the first time.
Well, you know, this Moondog Spot, he's no easy pickings. He's a veteran who's been in there, and he's fought the best, and he'll give anybody a tough battle.
Navarro trying to give Luke a ride, and does. Oh, my! He likes it barefooting in there, I think, does old Cousin Luke. Look at him, skipping along. Just like back down at the holler.
Navarro doesn't know where he's at right now. And there's Jim. He's going to whip into center road, but let's see if he's going to get him with that bear hug. And there it
Yes,
comes.
sirree! Hillbilly Jim with a bear hug. And now Navarro. Meanwhile, Cousin Luke keeps the Moondog at bay, and Navarro surrenders.
Gives you I was going to say, Vince, that gives you an idea of Hillbilly Jim's strength. You know, to make somebody give up on a bear hug, it takes an awful lot of power.
Let's get the official decision.
The winners of this bout, the team of Hillbilly Jim and Cousin Luke.
Luke, where'd you learn to skip like that?
Back home.
Back home. All right, good. Earlier we saw you fellas in a tag match, courtesy of the Saturday night main event, and Elmer, of course, was involved in this, and you took quite a severe blow to the back of the head, did you not, from Ace?
Right back here, I still got the bump on the back of my head.
I assume that you fellas are looking forward to maybe another opportunity, kind of evening.
You got that right. I sure am ready. I know Elmer is. What they done to him, you know, I didn't have no way of seeing it till I saw that tape. That Bob Orton hit him with that cast. And I've got a big question to ask you. Do you think any man can have a broken arm for a year and a half?
We covered that earlier. Obviously, no.
Now, back home, if we have a cow or a horse and he goes lame that long, we go on and shoot him.
Interesting point.
That's right. That's
it.
Well, maybe one of these days we'll have the cast off. I know Paul Orndorff is doing everything he can to sort of even the score up a little bit with the cast, and maybe you fellas are going to have to do the same. I just don't know.
Well, I sure hope we get an opportunity to, Mr.
We'd sure like to get another chance at him, I'll tell you that.
And this time, we're going to watch each other's back a little closer, because them guys there are the sneakiest guys in the whole world. And I'm talking about that Ace Orton and that Jesse, the whatever he is, with all them feathers Ventura, and Roddy Piper, man, coming out here wearing a skirt and skipping around.
Well, we'll be back. A little more further conversation. We'll talk about Luke's catfish when we return. Stay with us for more TNT. Farming, catfish farming. Those are unusual looking fish, sort of prehistoric fish, actually, are they not? I mean, they've been around a long.
Good.
They taste good.
Good eating fish.
You have them in a stew, or just do you fry them up? Luke, what's your favorite?
Well, I like them fried, and I also like them as a side dish when we have possum and taters. They're real good.
But you always, when you have possum, you have as an hors d'oeuvre, then you have the catfish, right?
Well, you just fry them up in a big skillet and put them there on the plate. You can eat them just by themselves, or you can eat them as an appetizer, or however you like.
Well, that would be nice. An catfish appetizer. That might catch on. Really. Alfred, how do you think that would do in England?
I think awful, just awful.
I mean, you've had fish and chips over there for years.
Yes, I know, but not catfish and chips.
They're good.
Aren't they difficult to take the skins off those things?
Oh, no. Get them right there. Dress them just I'll bring you some next time.
Yeah. What was that hors d'oeuvre thing?
The hors d'oeuvre. During the break, Jim was mentioning that Uncle Elmer is contemplating opening up, what is it, Elmer's Catfish?
Uncle Elmer's Catfish. It's a restaurant, Uncle Elmer's Catfish, and he's going to call it something else. Did he tell you what he was going to call it? Did you hear about it?
Briefly, Elmer's, I don't know, he's always into some sort of fish or something that smells like fish. I don't know, he's always got his hands in it.
Well, he's got time to do that, you know.
I guess so. Isn't he really, as far as the family was concerned, isn't Elmer how would you call it? You wouldn't call it the black sheep, but he was always...
he's like the white elephant.
That's kind of like
the family. He's a big critter, you know.
He's the big critter.
Yes, he is.
That's the hillbilly version of the black sheep.
That's
the
right.
White elephant.
The white elephant.
Yeah, well...
Uncle Elmer wants to start a catfish chain of restaurants.
He does?
And he's going to sell fish and chips, but the fish are going to be catfish.
He can sure eat some catfish, too.
I bet he can go through some catfish, yes. I could imagine. How does he prefer them? Does he like pickle them? Or, have you ever heard of pickled catfish before?
No, we just fry them.
Oh, deep fry.
Deep fry.
They're best like that.
Pan fried.
With coleslaw. You know what that is. Coleslaw, maybe some hush puppies. Whew. And some iced tea. We like a lot of iced tea where we come from.
Yeah. Alfred, that sounds like really, it's just right down your line, isn't it?
God, that's awful. Makes me sick just thinking of it. That is awful. God, but look what it does for them.
Yeah,
That's right.
I'll say.
It's mighty good for you, too.
Yeah. I couldn't eat it. No way. Fish and pigs, aren't they?
That's Elmer's department of pigs.
Yes, of course.
He's more of a pig farmer, you know. He's a fish farmer.
That's right.
Fish farmer, pig farmer, and you've got, you have any animals back on your place?
Oh, we got all kinds of critters. Big, tall, skinny, small, all kinds of them. We got pigs back there. We got sheep back there. We got a few goats, a few old mules, and a couple of horses. A little bit of everything. A lot of chickens running around, ducks and so forth.
We've seen some of your dogs in the past.
Oh,
yeah.
Them ain't critters. Them's folks.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they close to me. My dogs are.
Yeah, Elmer's have some. I've seen some of Elmer's dogs. He's something else. We'll be back with more TNT. Earlier on, Luke, you were talking about catfish and things of that nature and possum and whatever. Have you ever eaten weasel?
No.
Won't touch it, huh? Is that too foul? Is that a foul critter? Is that the way you refer to it?
Those critters there are worthless. Those pelts won't bring nothing.
Is that right?
That's what all they do is they just weasel around, and if you set a trap out, they'll come up and get the animal out of it if they can, you know. They're no good, and
meat's bad.
Oh, it's horrible.
Doesn't taste very good.
You guys are right.
Got a bad smell.
There's nothing worse than a weasel. I agree with both of you, gentlemen. There's nothing worse than a weasel. See, I'm not a weasel. I don't know anything about a weasel. Some people like to call. I'm not know anything about a weasel.
We'll send you some catfish when Luke wants to send him.
Sure.
Join us next week for more TNT, and
Bundy's going to be here next week.